Hello, gorgeous ladies, and welcome to episode 29 of our 35 plus weekly retail review. And this week we are going to look at the fabulous, exciting, dramatic, and oh so fun Camilla. So the label Camilla was started by Camilla Franks about 14 years ago in Bondi, 14 years ago in Bondi Beach in Sydney. And I would describe the brand as really bold, adventurous, bohemian, and quite feminine and soft as well. So if we dive straight in this week and look at style personality, we very much describe it as being natural. Natural feminine is very much that bohemian sort of look, but then I'd also add in that creativity as well, just because of the prints that are used and also the colour and stuff as well. It's just really, really gorgeous and vibrant. So it's a brand that has a very, very unique style and gorgeous fabrics and textures as well. So when it comes to colour, what I would say is we're really looking at more of those bolds. So think of what we call a traditional winter or a traditional spring. So those clear, bright colours. However, you'll see the little bit of sprinkling of those softer, dusty summer colours as well, and some of those warm and muted colours coming through as well. I do really think of Camilla as that sort of resort tropical holiday wear, and I guess that's why I wanted to showcase it this week when we're in the height of our summer period as well. When it comes to body shape, while you'll be able to find something for every body shape here, I would say that Camilla leans very much towards a more straight shape, so more of our rectangle shape, where the bust, the shoulder line, and the hip line is very much in proportion. However, they still very much have a waist. It's just not quite as defined as what it is for an hourglass shape. So it is that straight shape. The rectangle shape is one of those shapes which is actually the most versatile body shape, because you can create the rectangle body shape, you can also create the inverted triangle body shape, and you can also create an hourglass shape as well with your body and what you put on it too. So it is the most versatile shape. It is also the shape that looks fantastic in those straighter, boxy shift dresses or boxier silhouettes. So they can really get away with those straighter shapes. So I guess what I want to show you, if you are not necessarily sort of natural feminine and creative or more of that bohemian look, it's still worth checking out the favourites with me, just so I can talk to you about the shaping in terms of how to make a boxier shape right for you. So bear with me, even if it's not your style, bear with me, because I will be able to demonstrate a couple of things there for you. So sizing wise, we're looking 8 to a 16, but because the cuts are quite straight and they have a little bit of a flow, or quite a bit of a flow to them, they tend to be a little bit more generous in the sizing here. So just be aware that a 16 is probably going to be a little bit more generous than, say, a 16 in another brand. Price points, for dresses, you're starting at about $199. For pants, you're looking at $229. Tops, you're starting from $249, and $599 for, and I wouldn't say it's a coat or jacket, but more what I'd call a duster, or like the kimono style, or longer. I guess you call it a jacket, but it's a longer line, lightweight, sort of over the top coat with that. When it comes to deliveries, it is available online, but there are also standalone stores across Australia. And I also think, they have, with 2 stores opening in the US in 2019 as well. Delivery is free for orders over $500, or a flat fee of $15 for orders under $500, and they do have a 14-day return policy as well. So just before I show you my favourites, if you are wondering if there are other brands that are perfect for you based on your style personality, your colour palette, dress code and body shape, pop on over to 35plusweartoshop.com, where we have a free retail guide which classifies 90 retailers by those characteristics. Also, I'd love to invite you to our Facebook group, 35 Plus Where to Shop. So if you pop over there, search on Facebook for 35 Plus Where to Shop, and you'll see this icon over there. And we have a wonderful group of nearly 1,000 ladies who are all helping each other find the perfect pieces for them. It's such a warm, lovely, nurturing group. And we also share lots of things from time to time in there as well. So before we head into our favourites, pop over there and join us. We'd love to see you there. So let me show you some of my favourites. Okay, so for those of you who have been watching our retail reviews for a while, you would know that I am such a fan of bold and bright colour. And look, I have to say I'm a little biased just because my colour palette does tend to be those deeper and also brighter tones. So when I got on here to Camilla, I nearly had a conniption. Looking at this bright fuchsia, it brings so much joy to me. There is so much joy and I get really excited about seeing this much colour. So I just wanted to show you, if you are someone who really embraces colour and absolutely loves getting things that are bright and bold, then even if you are not someone who wants to necessarily embrace it head to toe, you'll notice that there's so many beautiful little accessories, or you can wear them as separate pieces. I mean, look at those sandals, which I'll showcase a little bit further on. There's just so much vibrancy to the colour. And what I also love is there's just so much detail when it comes to the prints and patterns here. So the first one that I wanted to show you was this off-the-shoulder dress with smocking, and it's called Lounge Hour. And it is in that beautiful fuchsia, and it's teamed with some gorgeous golds, aquas, navies in the print and pattern as well. Now, when I was talking a little bit before about body shape and talking about different shapes that flatter different body shapes as well, you can see that the cut here is quite straight through the body. And what we have is a little bit of a fluted or bell sleeve that hits along the wrist area as well. So it's just being aware that this really is probably for someone who is more of a rectangle body shape, so straighter up and down. It does create that width across the shoulder line because of the off the shoulder there as well. And look, it's not really for someone who is looking to make the bottom half of them appear larger, because the sleeve adds a little bit of width around the hip area there. So if you're someone who is narrower through the shoulder and wider at the hip, then this could be a little bit tricky. Whereas if you are, for example, even an inverted triangle and someone who is wider across the shoulder line and narrower through the hip, this would work really, really well for you. I know for myself, this one would be a little bit tricky just because I tend to be a smaller size on the top and a larger size on the bottom half as well, which is a typical triangle body shape. So it is very much looking at, for me in particular, any triangle body shape is to create that width across the shoulder line there. So this is perfect really for a rectangle body shape, depending on a few other factors, also an inverted triangle. Hourglass can be a little bit tricky because it is very, very important for an hourglass to show off their waist, to show their natural hourglass shape. So that's the off-the-shoulder dress with smocking in that hot pink with gold detail. Absolutely stunning. So they have quite a, Camilla has quite a bit in this sort of print. So if this one's not quite right for you, there's plenty of others to try out there. Next up, to create a little bit more of an hourglass shape, I wanted to show you the split sleeve kaftan. So it's called Shibori Shores. It is really great, this one, for cool muted and light. Warm and clears could probably just get away with it. Definitely warm, clear and lights could. And the reason why I wanted to show you this one is because it does show the waist here. We've got that deep plunging V, which is absolutely stunning, but the way that the print has been positioned, even though the cut might be a little bit straighter through there, and I'll show you some other examples coming through, even though the cut is a little bit straighter, it does have the tie around the waist, so you can create the waist there. And you could actually do that with the previous one as well, putting a little belt or a tie around there. but also with the placement of where we've got those diagonal lines coming through from underneath the bust out, really creates that shape and gives the illusion of a waist there. So it's a really good option for an hourglass. Just be careful with the triangle shape because of the cutouts on the shoulder. It does create a little bit of a triangle shape around the shoulder line and just narrows there. Whereas for an inverted triangle, that could work quite well, and also for the rectangle too. Now, if you're not someone who likes to do a lot of bold print and pattern all over, because Camilla, it is all about that bold print and pattern, being really adventurous, a little bit dramatic even. So if you're looking for something where you are going quite neutral, but you want to add a little pop of colour, I love these fabric tie sandals in Mellow Muse. So they're $249 and they're a beautiful tan leather sandal, but then they've got the fabric Mellow Muse coming through, which is absolutely stunning in those sort of yellows, purples, soft pinks and greens as well. I love the versatility of these in terms of being able to tie them in a few different ways. And they also come in different fabrics as well. So absolutely gorgeous. Now, Camilla is really very much well known for her kimonos. And again, the kimono is brilliant because it's so versatile. I mean, you can use it for so many different things. As a layering piece on its own, you can dress it down more for, you know, the beach and resort style, but you can also dress it up with a pair of wedges and really large earrings for an evening out as well. And what I love about Camilla is that they are, like, her pieces are just so luxurious, and the attention to detail is absolutely stunning. So we can see the shorter version here, but she also does longer versions as well. So this one I love is it's more of a warm and clear in the printable pattern, but then we've got this contrasting sort of black berry colour and blue coming through as just this detail along the front panel, just where we're crossing over, and also with the tie belt as well. So just to give you a few other versions of the look, we've got it open, layering it over a different print and pattern and doing some colour clashing there, and also with the tie, just to show you the different variations. So this, the kimono, really does work for all body shapes here. It's just watching where the sleeve ends in particular, if it ends around the hip or not, but it's a really, really great shape for all body shapes there. And last but not least, I wanted to show you the wide leg pant. And why I wanted to show you that is Camilla has teamed it here with something that's quite boxy on the top. So again, when I was saying she sort of leans towards more of that straighter silhouette, but you can see as well she's also combining it with the tie or the obi around the centre. So this is the wide leg pant with cuffs in the painted land. So it is a black with an embossed fabric, and then we've got that beautiful floral border detail there through there as well. But again, she's doing it sometimes with a straighter top as well. And with the wide leg pant, and you're going to see a lot of wide leg come back. We've had the skinny for quite some time, we've had the tapered for quite some time, but we do have some wider and palazzo pants coming back. So they are perfect for the rectangle if you do something straighter on top, because you can get away with doing that boxy and straight look. However, if you're an hourglass shape, I would really recommend cinching in at the waist. So either tucking in, doing the magic tuck at the front, a front tuck, or doing what she demonstrated just a little bit early on with the tie around the waist, like a belted look with the jacket. Just trying to find that for you now. Yeah, just with the belted look around the waist, if you are going to do something that's a little bit boxier and softer on top. Otherwise, for an hourglass or in particular a triangle body shape, it'll look a little bit too boxy and overwhelming for them. So that's just something to remember with a wider leg pant there. So they are just some of my favourites. So thank you so much for joining me this week, and thank you for allowing me to share Camilla with you. I know many of you already are aware of Camilla, and it's just looking at it in a different sort of way in terms of shapes and cuts as well, but totally adventurous, totally bold. I love the uniqueness of the brand, and it's really exciting. So if you want to find out more brands that are going to be perfect for you based on your style personality, your body shape, colour palette, and also dress code, please pop over to 35plusphotoshoп.com and download our free retail guide. And we'd also love to see you in our Facebook group, 35 Plus Where to Shop, where we can help you find the perfect pieces for you. Okay, I am going to have a little bit of a jaunt down to Melbourne. So I'm hoping to visit some of my favourite brands down there. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.